All right, folks, let's talk cummerbunds, specifically our Expando cummerbund. So it's a newer technology that we brought out maybe a year ago. Came out when we released our 519 plate carrier, which is a popular plate carrier that we offer. It's gotten a lot of great feedback. People like the technology. They were hoping that we could upgrade it a bit and bring things in like our UBI insert technology, which is the pocket that's inside your cummerbund that allows you to put a soft armor panel inside there, offering side protection. So we've done all those things. We've come out with upgraded cummerbunds. Many of our products, it's just a drop down when you're browsing our website and you want to pick your cummerbund system. You'll see Expando on there. We do have a couple versions of that in the quick release type system, whether it's the first spear tubes that I have here, or we also have the tactic buckle. So look for your configuration that you prefer, and I'm going to show you why and how it works. So it's a great technology, the Expando cummerbund system, because what it allows you to do is get tremendous expandability and contraction to your cummerbund system, which of course makes this very handy in a situation where maybe you're adding layers on, like you're bulking up for winter, so you've got a big thick jacket that you're putting on. Obviously your plate carrier is only going to expand so much to fit that, especially if you're running one that has very limited size and capability to it. So the Expando cummerbund works great in that situation. Let's say you made your New Year's resolution and you lost a bunch of weight, and so, or you put on a bunch of muscle, etc., etc. You're going to need to have an Expando cummerbund, because that will allow you to adjust your plate carrier, or in this case, in the Raven X that we're talking about, your tactical entry vest, to fit you properly so that you get good coverage, which increases your safety and also makes it so that you're comfortable and you can move much easier in your system. So let's take a look. We've got our cummerbund right here. This happens to be the laser cut version with the first spear tubes. This one over here is our Molly version with the tactic buckle. So here's your part that would attach to the back of your cummerbund, or the back of your vest. So you would lift up that flap back there, and you would see that this would just simply fit right onto that loop section. So on here, on our dummy, I'll just turn this guy around. You can see that you have this back section here. This one happens to have the Expando on it. So there you go. There's that piece right there. So this really doesn't move. Obviously you can move it if you need a little bit more expansion or contraction. You can move that on that section back here, which would be your traditional platform for adjustment. What the Expando allows you to do is take the actual cummerbund and utilize that in the Molly or laser cut sections to adjust it even further. So really, really cool. So let's make some adjustments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that piece, so imagine it's attached here, and you adjust it over, and so it'll be like that. And so you would just bring it over a few rows or a few columns on your cummerbund, and you would decide, okay, I'm going to obviously adjust this the same on both sides, otherwise I'm going to end up with a lopsided vest, which you don't want. And let's say you pick it over here. So you maybe count the number of columns you've gone over, so you can quickly duplicate that on the other side. And you're going to take your Molly stick here, which, obviously you can lock it and you can unlock it by pulling this forward like that. So you want it in the unlock position in order to get it out of here, and you want it in the unlock position in order to put it back in. So one thing to keep in mind here is that you need to have that space where when you lock it back down, it's got the channel for that tooth to click in, which is usually, you obviously feed it through the top slit or the top Molly, and then you would see if there's a little opening there, leave that open. So you would come down inside of the column through the Molly, and you would go under first, and then actually stay under so that you have that space to slide through, go through your Velcroed section, and then you would feed back into the cummerbund again. And it's just like Molly, just like any pouch you would put on, you want to have that nice secure weaving technique, and then I just go ahead and leave it in right there so that you don't have the tip sticking out. So then you can see that once you kind of button this down, and end up looking like that. So no matter what, I would lock this down, and that way it's nice and streamlined for you as much as it can be. So clearly you can see that's a pretty short cummerbund. So you're probably wondering, well, where does all this go? You know, I got this big flap here. Maybe it's even got a UBI in it. Maybe it's got some soft armor in it. It needs to go somewhere, right? Like I don't want to get in my way. I don't want it creating a bunch of bulk on my sides. So what we did is we created a channel back here. So where this is going is your extra just ends up going into this channel, and you can overlap it back there. Like let's say you really cinch this thing down because some corn-fed boys decided to hand his vest down to you, and so you really needed to dial that in, and so you take all that extra slack, overlap it in the back, and attach it right there, and man, you are good to go. So you still have great coverage. It's a nice snug fit. It doesn't look sloppy. You don't have a bunch of extra bulk on the side, which of course is your most sensitive area to have bulk. If you get a little bulk in the back, it's not nearly as big of a deal. And really everything stays pretty dialed in. The front doesn't really change much. You do have a little bit of play there if you want to, swap and bring this cummerbund in even more here. But then the problem with that is that you start getting to where you can't easily get to whatever that release mechanism is that you're working with. So that's why, again, having the Expando is superior because you're able to take that bulk and really get that put away without affecting, the placement of these pull tabs, etc., and really not affecting, how much overlap you have in the back with the Velcro. So it's a great option. Again, you can get it in moly, you can get it in laser cut, you can get it with first spear tubes. Check it out, work with your agency, have a couple of your guys try them out, and you can make a decision based on your actual use of the Expando cummerbund. Appreciate your interest in our products, appreciate you guys going out there and doing what you're doing, and we're happy to support.